name is Andrew Whitmore, and this is the beginning of my new video blog, 40 Dogs in 40 Days. I found a little chart a little while ago that gave 40 different versions of hot dogs, and so I decided I wanted to recreate those because hot dogs are one of my favorite meals. I do have a Twitter to follow. It's 40 Dogs 40 Days. If you want to check that out, I'm going to be posting the full length video on there, so it's not broken up like the Instagram story. Hopefully in the next few days, I'm going to start a YouTube channel as well. And you can follow my personal Instagram. It's going to have that on there, AVW606. I'm probably going to start another Instagram as well. Just a real quick history on the hot dog. So the real first mention of hot dogs is actually in Homer's Odyssey. I'm going to throw a quote up here real quick. So that's kind of the first written down history. Scholars don't know for sure when it happened, but in 700 BC, most people do think that one of Nero's cooks actually was the first to come up with it when he actually sliced open a pig and its intestines fell out, and he saw the intestines, and he decided to stuff those and essentially create a sausage. And the real history of hot dogs in America, though, started around 1860 when German immigrants started coming to the U.S. And one of the first ones to really start a hot dog stand was Charles Feltman. He was the first to start a hot dog stand in Coney Island. So obviously New York. New York is, kind of the hub of hot dogs as far as America goes. A lot of other immigrants started coming, Germans, Greeks, Polish, and Austrians, and they decided to kind of start doing their own little hot dog stands and coming up with, carts that could move around. But really took off in 1893 when it became popular at ballparks. They were called Red Hots then, and it was being sold really, across the nation at ballparks. But the real pioneer of hot dogs really happened in 1916 when Nathan Henrecker started his hot dog stand known as Famous Nathan's. And he actually worked for Charles Feldman, but he decided he could do it better. And so he opened his own carts and started selling his dogs at half price. And by doing that, he put Mr. Feltman out of business and, became Nathan's Famous, which is also in Coney Island. It's the famous hot dog eating contest, which is great every year. And then after he came out, it really started blowing up across the nation. And then the most famous probably on the West Coast is going to be 1939 when Pink's Hot Dog Stand opened up. Now, so like I said, there's 40 different hot dogs I'm going to be doing. Today, as introduced in the title, I'm going to be doing the New York style. Of course, there's many different ways you'll find it, but I would say typically this is going to be a really traditional way of doing it. Now, I'm going to be using, for my purposes, again, Nathan's. This is their bun length, skinless beef frank. I'll be using some different things here and there for demonstrations, but for the most part, because Nathan's is one of the first known ones around still, I'm going to be using that. Now, as far as the New York hot dog goes, it is, again, inherently New York. Immigrants came from Europe, landed in New York. They started establishing themselves there. And again, these German immigrants and Polish immigrants, they were bringing their sausages, really revolutionized the hot dog there. A New York hot dog is traditionally all beef. I mean, obviously you can get different types of stuffings in the casing or non-casing, but the New York hot dog is traditionally all beef. There's a company called Sabret. They're actually, they make everything hot dog. They make the toppings, they actually make wieners themselves. And they also do have very famous street carts. They're blue and yellow. Show a little picture of that there for you. You can find those almost on any corner in New York. They are known for making an onion sauce. And this is kind of what sets New York hot dogs aside. It was really popularized by Nathan's and also the Papaya King. Now, the onion sauce does have some Greek immigrant ties to it as well. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the onion sauce, and I'm going to do a little demo of making that. Then we'll try some hot dogs. So here I have all my ingredients for my onion sauce that I posted earlier. I'm actually going to do about a quarter of that recipe, but I posted a little bit larger one in case you want to make some for a party or a cookout. Once we come out of quarantine and everything. So first I have a onion. So today I'm just going to be using a half onion. You also need some cooking oil, water, ketchup, tomato paste, and then we'll do a little onion powder and garlic powder for seasoning, as well as salt and pepper at the end. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dice up this onion real quick. So next up, just gonna get a pan starting to get hot. And I'm gonna add my cooking oil. Let that come up to temperature. Once the oil's ready, go ahead and toss in my onions. What I want to do is get a nice golden brown color on these. At this point, they're about halfway there. I just need to get some more color on it, so we're gonna keep going. So at this point, I'm gonna cut off the heat. I got a nice golden color, a little bit of caramelization in there to give it just a little more umph and nutty flavor. But I'm gonna let these cool down. I'll be back in probably about 10-15 minutes. So my onions here have cooled down. I'm just gonna add in the rest of the ingredients right now. So I'll add in the water. The ketchup. And tomato paste. Along with just a bit of onion powder and garlic powder. This is just going to be to taste, so if you like your stuff a little more oniony, add a little bit more garlic powder. If you like it really garlicky, you can add some of that as well. I'm going to do some kosher salt. This is also going to be to taste, so just, not too salty, but you want some flavor in there. And if you crack some pepper, we're just going to turn this back up, mix it all together, and bring it to a boil. Once it's a boil, we just kind of want to simmer it down so that it reduces everything in there and becomes more of a sauce. So just get everything really well mixed in. And like I said, we're just going to bring this small amount to boil, which shouldn't take too long. And we'll let it simmer. Probably about 10-15 minutes, maybe a little less. like I said, pretty rapidly at a boil. I'm gonna turn it down. Let this simmer thicken up. Once that's done, we'll be back. So especially for today's demo, New York style, especially Nathan's, is usually done on a flat top surface. A lot of people don't have those, so you can always grill them if you want. Boil them, cook them however you want. I'm just going to try to keep as close to the original as possible. So I do have this flat pan. Just again, going to add my oil to bring it up to temperature. Oil's up and going, nice and hot, moving around the pan easily. So I'm just going to add my dog. And I just want to get a nice sear on this, get it warmed through. While this is cooking, I also do have a bun in the oven. That's just at 350, just to warm up. Actually, I started it at 350, and before it's even hit, I went ahead and put it in. Because I don't need it to bake or anything, I just need it to warm through, so just want that heat. And this is cooking up nicely. Just move it around, just make sure it gets cooked on all sides. So at this point, it should be heated through. It's got a really nice brown color to it, so right where we want to be. So next up is just building the New York style dog. All right, so we have everything cooked, everything ready to go. We just need to assemble this. I'll do a little taste test, and then I'll talk about next hot dog. So according to the chart, again, this is just going off this chart. According to the chart, the real traditional New York style is a bun. Again, like I said, heated up in the oven. I'm gonna add the hot dog. Nice golden brown hot dog. Then it's going to be your tomato sauce right here. So you see nice and thick from when we made it. Good helping of that in there. A little bit of a traditional yellow mustard. Not my favorite, but I get it. It's very traditional. I'm not going to use a ton because like I said, I don't love the flavor of mustard, but probably a lot of the recipes I'll switch up to a grain mustard, but for this one, I'll keep it to this simple ballpark yellow. And then a little bit of sauerkraut as well. There you go. Got your New York style hot dog. Let's give it a taste and see what we think. All right, so back from the taste test. I mean, like you say, it's a New York style dog. I mean, just delicious. Everything balanced out really well. I kind of didn't really mind the yellow mustard all that much because of that really nice sweet onion sauce that was on there. You know, I know some people say ketchup doesn't belong on a dog. I actually don't feel that way. I actually do enjoy a little ketchup. So that ketchupy onion sauce that was on there really like added that little extra zip that I love. And of course the sauerkraut, always a good flavor on a dog for me as well. So 100% suggest making that one. Very, very good. So next up is going to be the Seattle dog. If you have any ideas about that, I'll repost the chart so everybody can see it again. I'll post it on here. At the end, I'll show a little single shot of what the chart says is on a Seattle dog. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, want to tell me what you think a Seattle dog should be, please feel free to follow me on my Twitter again, 40 Dogs 40 Days, my personal Instagram, AVW606, and I will also, like I said, probably start a YouTube channel so I can have this all kind of in one instead of broken up on an Instagram story. And then also So I'll have this all on an Instagram story as well, but I kind of want it all together, so I'll probably start a YouTube channel as well. Please feel free to share this with your friends, family, anybody who loves food like I do. I would love to have more followers and more people watching this. I'm not just doing this for myself. So hope you have a great day. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time for Seattle Dogs.